Hey, what is going on, everybody? It is Brian McCormick here with Gallery Bry, and just wanted to do a short little sketchbook tour because I have just wrapped up this sketchbook, which I've been using periodically. It's kind of a medium-sized sketchbook, but I only really use it certain times because it's a little bit bulkier to carry around. I use smaller sketchbooks whenever I'm on the go. So this is just a red moleskin, and I did a little print on the front of it of one of the jellyfish that I did for some cards. So this is just a line of cut print, and well, it's actually like a soft cut print, which is the same thing, it's just different material. And I used the water-based ink, and it tends to rub off pretty easily. So if you want to do this, you definitely want to do the oil-based ink. It definitely will stay on very well, and it's not going to smudge that much, especially like if you get water on it, that sort of thing. So that's another reason I usually only keep this at home, because it is very smudgy. Not so much now, but like initially, maybe it wasn't fully dry or whatever, but so I just thought that would be pretty cool on the cover. And so we'll get started here. Got some love notes in here. And then these were just like class of 2001. Whenever I graduated, I just found those and just figured I'd stick them in there. So a lot of portraits in here. There's a really good app. It's called Sketchy. It's SKTCHY, I believe. It gets rid of the E in there. Basically just all consonants. And it's great because people post all kinds of pictures and you can draw them, and that's why people post pictures, so it's not creepy. That's the goal of the app. And then you can draw people, and then you can post them, and then they can comment on them. People can even commission you. So it's a pretty sweet app. I really like it just for practicing portraits. So that's mostly what this book is. You'll notice like how one side is reversed. I like to draw on this side. I don't know, it's just a habit that I got into. And so I'll draw on this side, and then I'll switch it, to draw on this side. So that's why these things are upside down like that. And then usually, put my signature on there and the date. So my dates are usually year, month, and then the day. So this one would be 18 July 24th. So again, mostly just portraits. I really like to use the Pentel brush pens. They're pretty sweet. They're really good. You can just do so much with them. You can get really fine lines. You can get big washes with them. They're just a lot of fun to use. I think this was maybe like an Andy Warhol or something like that. A little bit of stock stuff in here. But the Pentel brush pens are just a lot of fun to use. So there's also a lot of kind of punny card ideas that I threw in here. So I was kind of working on some ideas for Christmas, and then I got the idea, and it wasn't a new one, but it just kind of occurred to me that a pizza basically looks like a tree. So I did a whole bunch of like pizza tree cards. So pizza on earth, Merry Christmas, all that kind of stuff. Yeah, wah, wah, wah. Super punny, but I just like that stuff. And so I was just like doing ideas for cards that I could be potentially maybe using in the future. If your class tanks a lot. If you've ever noticed, Irish people say tanks instead of thanks. So that's where the tanks a lot comes from. You're the taco of the town, I love you. So again, these aren't new ideas, but I just thought I would do some of my own renditions. And these would be things that I could just do like a line of cut with. So anyway, I'll switch these around maybe on the second pass here. This is just on my way to work. This is downtown Pittsburgh by Point State Park. This is a hotel here and condos. And another portrait. I really like Lucian Freud portraits, so I may have been a little bit influenced by those, you know, with the big expressive eyes, and I just really like the way that he does portraits. There's a little bit of the jellyfish. That was probably like the first rendition of it. Here's a card that I was gonna do for somebody, but I just got too bogged down and wasn't really able to do it. They wanted kind of a unison of the Korean and American flag. He married someone from Korea, and you know that he thought it'd be good for a wedding anniversary. More Christmas cards. This is just, I think, like an automatic drawing, so this is a good warm-up exercise if you guys have never done it before. Automatic drawing, you basically just draw anything, and it doesn't have to look like anything. It's just let your hand go any way that you want to, and you end up with something. So Be Mine, a little heart in there. And then, yeah, another portrait here. This one, I think I just started with a portrait, maybe didn't like the way that was going, and then I just kind of like exploded it out into some sort of design there. Again, a little bit more automatic drawings. This, I think, was somebody, not sketchy. Oh, I got new Vans. Vans are great. They're like really good price for, you know, the quality that you get. They're definitely pretty bulletproof, kind of just like Chuck Taylor's. And I forget, this looks super familiar, but I can't really remember. A lot of times if I'll do something, I'll put like their name or something like that. And this could have been sketchy, I don't know. And then bathtub, I'm not exactly sure why I was drawing a bathtub, but it's probably for something. And just more sketchy portraits. I think this was just like a measuring cup that was maybe on my kitchen table. Looks like my phone. Again, super rough, almost kind of like a no-tan study. More portraits, more portraits. My girlfriend was sleeping and she likes ice cream, so I held this up over her head, kind of like, you know, she was dreaming of ice cream. Really just more portraits here. Portraits. This is the Homestead Library in Pittsburgh. So it's in the Steel Valley. It's something that was built by Andrew Carnegie, and it's a really great library, actually. They have a lot of resources there. It's huge, pool, basketball court, all that kind of stuff. A little bit more portraits here, just some random doodles, and some more sketchy portraits. So again, these are just a lot of fun to do. You don't really have to focus too hard on them. I have just gotten in the habit of not really doing construction lines or sketching things out. I really just try to just do it as quickly as possible. And if it turns out good, great. If it doesn't, it doesn't. It's just a learning process for me. This is the Cathedral of Learning in Pittsburgh. It's I think, one of the tallest educational buildings in the country. It's the, I guess, heart and center of University of Pittsburgh. Actually has some really cool rooms in it, international rooms, so they're all kind of themed like the country that they're supposed to be based on. This is kind of the beginning of Inktober, so I'm super behind on Inktober, but I just figured I'd go with it anyway, even though I'm behind. So these are some different ones. This one's Frail, this one's Swing, as you can see here. This is just kind of a amusement park swing. This was just a little bit of, oh no, this was also on Inktober. This was Pattern, I believe. This was just me just trying to get angles correctly while I was at work and on my lunch break. I was just measuring with my pen to get the angles of the computer right in just the perspective of looking at it. So if you haven't done that before, it can get pretty accurate angles if you're doing that. This was dragon for Inktober. This was snow. This was my cousin who cut his beard and wasn't too happy about it, so I drew a picture of that. And that is it. This was just a line of cut that I did. Thanks a bunch for a card. It's lots of noise that needed cleaned up. This was just kind of a test print. And then my new Vans sticker. Finished this October 20th. So I'll just go through it again, this side, for some of the ones that maybe you didn't get to see too clearly. This one I was also working on angles. So I really wanted to get these angles correct in this downtown cityscape. So this is Market Square in downtown Pittsburgh. It's a great place to go for lunch. Moe's, welcome to Moe's. I've only been to Moe's once, but I just thought it was funny how they scream, welcome to Moe's whenever you come in. I'm sure that would get very old if you worked there. And we'll go back through this pretty quickly. Some of these you may have already seen. So this is build for Inktober. This was Franz Klein. Somebody was talking about him and I looked him up and I just kind of liked the way his portrait looked, so I drew it. And this is another sketchy portrait. This was just, I guess, a day that we went to go get some pho, Two Sisters Pho in Pittsburgh, really good. Another sketchy portrait, another sketchy portrait. I like the way some of these turned out. Kind of like this one, I like the askance glance, and same with this one. When I draw portraits, I really look for people that have kind of like out of the ordinary hair. You know, the hair that's like bushy all over the place. I really like to draw hair, and hair that has like cool angles, you know, and cool shapes to it. I don't know, this is a fun pose to draw, just kind of like sideways pose. Another sketchy portrait, some more sketchy. This was just a doodle. And this was, I think, a house that was near the library. I'm trying to work on buildings a lot more. I don't really do a lot of buildings. And again, these are just super fast sketches, just trying to get the general shape and layout of it. Definitely need a little bit more practice there. This one, I don't know. I like this one. I think I like, it's got like a long neck. It looks like some sort of like, I don't know who it is, like Modigliani or something like that. Kind of like an unnatural, you know, look to it. These are just some more sketchy portraits, just some quick portraits. And again, no construction lines on these. My Vans, another just sort of kind of an automatic drawing portrait. There's that automatic drawing. I think we've seen these. This was, I think, just a little bit of a landscape and some more sketchy portraits, doodle, and this was in Oakland. This was just on my way to work, and this was kind of the layout for a painting that I've been working on that hasn't really come to fruition yet, but hopefully that'll be something that'll be coming up soon. A few more sketchy portraits. Most of these you've already seen. That's a self-portrait. I don't know. I just thought I would draw that one. It's more of like a caricature, I suppose, more than anything else. And this is just kind of a mountain ridge. This was not a sketchy portrait. I believe this was just kind of a copy off of something that I liked. This may have been too, but I like this one. I like the angles. And that is pretty much it. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this little sketchbook tour here. They're always fun to kind of look back on, you know, especially years further down the road. So hopefully we'll have some more of these coming up in the future. So if you guys liked it, make sure to like, comment, share, all that good stuff. I appreciate you stopping by. If you didn't like it, let me know that too. If this is boring and you don't like it, let me know and I'll stop posting these. So thanks for coming by, and we'll see you guys in the next video.